You know how everyone always says alligators are modern day dinosaurs? Well, today we're going to Jurassic Park. I'm Scott. I've been to all 50 states visiting and rating attractions. I'm looking for the very best in America. This is Bucketlist Attractions. Hey, Bucketlist Travelers. Do you want to go on a cruise? Do you want to go somewhere where it's sunny and warm? Where you can eat a year's worth of calories in a single week? Well, if that's the cruise you want to go on, this is the wrong one for you. It's going to be cold and dark and wet. And the only thing on the menu is you, because everything wants to eat you in the swamp. Now, some of you aren't from the South, and we forgive you. But you're probably asking yourself, what are those cloth things you're wearing around your face? That was to protect us from swallowing the mosquitoes. Another core advantage of wearing a mask around your face is to protect yourself from the alligators. You see, alligators aren't going to mess with a boat full of ninjas. Now, the Cajun Swamp Tour was north of New Orleans, about an hour's drive. Or if you prefer a more spirited, yet less practical way of travel, you could always swim here, I suppose. That is, of course, assuming you are a good swimmer, otherwise you might be swept out into the Gulf of Mexico. Now, on this tour, you are going to see a lot of trees. There's a tree. There's another tree. I believe I counted somewhere between 432 to 436. I lost my counts after that. So if you imagine, there's quite a bit more than that. There's some Cajun dolphins right there. Now you're going to see plenty of these slippery water lizards. They come up right to the boat. There's one right there. Salt in my sweet tea! Look at that guy's shirt! That is the most horrific thing I've ever seen! Why would you wear that? Why would you buy that? Thank you very much, Mr. Turn My Family Fun Film into a horror film. I didn't know we were watching Friday the 13th. Happy, 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 happy. Happy, happy, happy. Another thing on this tour is you're going to see a lot of water. We're on the water right now. Now, we did make one stop on this tour, this 1915 cemetery right here. You're probably asking yourself, why is there a cemetery in the swamp? That's a good question. That was the same question I had. Great minds think alike, don't they? Maybe after this movie, we can go get a pizza and talk about how much alike we are. I'm talking to you, Mr. YouTuber, you. How much alike are we? Look, a squirrel! Oh no, that's just a rabbit. Perhaps the biggest letdown on this entire cruise is the fact that the only one that got to eat anything is that rabbit. And he wasn't even on the cruise. Look at that charity. Anyways, back to the cemetery. As I recollect, the story goes that this town had a voodoo witch, or voodoo queen, rather. And when she passed away the following night, a hurricane came through this town and many of the residents were killed in the storm. And they were buried here in this cemetery. Now the town largely blamed the voodoo queen for this. And as such, they feared her very much. And they buried her separately outside of that cemetery. And you can see her grave there in the back. I wish I got blamed for something epic. Like maybe if like a jelly bean factory blew up or something and it started raining jelly beans. And everyone would be like, oh great, it's raining jelly beans again. Thanks a lot, Scott. And I'd be like, you are so welcome. You know, the weatherman would be like, today we have a chance of it being cloudy, some scattered thunderstorms, and a jelly bean showers in the afternoons. You sexy dog, you. If you really want to be adventurous, take some raw chicken and hold it outside of the boat. I hear it's good luck if you don't lose an appendage. This hotel right here is the only 5-star hotel in all of Louisiana. It's where I stayed. In reality, it was just a trapper's cabin. And to be truthful, I half imagined a possum to come out on the front porch playing some music on a banjo. I think I have too much of imagination. It's all that sugary cereal. Yeah. Don't eat sugar, kids. At this point in the tour, it kind of turned into a grade school show and tell. You started passing around little critters that you might find in the swamp. Now, for those of you who don't know what a show and tell is, that's where you bring something to class and you show the rest of the kids it. I always used to bring my dog, because that was the popular thing to do. I was a popular kid in school, because I always brought my dog to show and tell. But today I was outdone, because the captain of the cruise brought his pets. At this point in the cruise, as it began to come to a close, I realized that it was missing a climactic finale. It needed something epic. And the only thing that could really quench that desire would be if the boat were to run ashore and to explode into a million pieces, causing all of us to jump into the gator-infested water, and watch one by one, horrifically, as our friends, who we only met an hour before, are eaten alive before our very eyes. And I alone, would fight my way to the very shores, a lone survivor, feeling victorious and triumphant. I would celebrate my victory over death. Yet I would ignorantly suppose that these Godzilla-like creatures could not pursue me on land, and oh, would I be surprised as they do. And I would meet a most unfortunate, a most untimely, a most ghastly demise. Yet it would be heroic and quite sexy. Although other than that, I suppose a close, climactic second would be holding one of these long-nosed, eat-you-for-breakfast creatures of the deep. So that's the Cajun Swamp Tour. And overall, you can expect your tour to be about an hour and a half. And this, even though it's not a bucket list item, was a very, very good tour. I highly recommend it. If you are in the New Orleans area, I strongly encourage you to come check this out. It is definitely worth it. And it was a fun boat ride. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't enjoy this video, please share it with everyone you know and tell them how much you hated it. But be sure to like and subscribe, otherwise I might be done making these videos and I'll pick up a new hobby. Like learning how to knit oven mittens. Then I'll sell them on eBay for $26.99. That's for one. That's not for both. That's for one. $26.99.